Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Stupid is the Norm, the channel where we demonstrate how to become a millionaire in 10 years on minimum wage. And in this video I'm going to give you an updated and upgraded version of Richard Kiyosaki's 4 Quadrants of Wealth. So about 15 years ago, a guy called Richard Kiyosaki wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in that book he broke down 4 quadrants of wealth. Now, it's quite revolutionary if you hadn't seen it for the first time, but it wasn't so revolutionary. Actually, all he did was he broke down the 4 different tax brackets that there were then in the United States. And they are people who work for a living and pay what we call PAYE in this country, those who are self-employed, those who trade through limited companies, and those who take income from dividends in stocks and shares or in property. And that's all it was. So it was 15 years ago. So I've done an updated and upgraded version of my own wealth quadrant here. So a bit like Richard Kiyosaki, I'm going to split the quadrant in 2, whereas the guys on this side, these are in the non-wealthy parts of the quadrants, and these on this side are the wealthy quadrants. So let's visit the first one, which is what I call LC, which stands for lower class. It used to be, I guess, what we call working class, but the working class used to be defined by the jobs they did, the work they did, and they tended to be heavy industry, steel making, shipyards, coal mining, that sort of thing. But all those jobs are gone. And so I can't really call this working class because, well, a lot of the people in this quadrant aren't working at all. So I've called it lower class. And I don't mean lower class as in like Downton Abbey, that class system, high class, lower class, upper class. I mean lower class as in the wealth quadrant. It's in the lowest part of the wealth quadrant. You'll find these sort of people, they'll be stood outside places like betting shops and pubs at about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. At least that's what I see. But they're the lucky ones, because these are the people who are the higher part of the lower class, because they've got a little disposable income, as little as it is. Anybody who's in the lower class benefit or the lower class quadrant are those who exist on benefits, who rely on benefits to keep them alive. And if you wish, this is also includes people like pensioners, if that's their only source of income, that is the state pension. So everybody in the lower class are people who live or require subsidies from the state in order to keep them alive. Now the next quadrant is what I call MC, stands for middle class, represent the biggest part of this quadrant. They probably represent 2/3 of the whole 4 quadrants together. And they've become accidentally average, and some of them become accidentally wealthy. And that's because they don't have a plan of their own. They don't have a goal. They don't have a plan to go with it. They've become accidents of society because they've just gone along with what's normal and what's expected of them. They'll typically be homeowners and have 2 cars and they drive and go to Spain once a year for the holidays. You'll find them at pubs at lunchtimes and evenings taking the kids out. They're everywhere because these are the biggest part of society, and they will rely in retirement for the normal average investment vehicles to fund their retirement. They will tend to be workplace pensions and private pensions. See them everywhere, middle class. So let's move along to the interesting part of the quadrant. That's this side. These are the wealthy guys. And P in this quadrant stands for planners. These are people who are very different from these in one respect, and that they had a goal and they had a plan to achieve the goal. They also had a time frame which they're going to achieve that goal. And along the way to the goal, they had made some sacrifices and worked harder or longer hours than most people. They wouldn't have gone to Spain every year because they wanted to put that money so divert the money, if you wish, from going on holiday and upgrading the house and buying new cars and put that into investments. You'll see these guys in exactly the same places as you'll see these guys in the nicer pubs. And in many ways they're indistinguishable because they don't have the trappings of wealth. They'll be like you and I, this is us in here if you wish. They will just rock up to the pub in jeans and a t-shirt, because instead of having the trappings of wealth that are expected of wealthy people, the nice cars and what have you, the nice designer clothes, they realize that they've had to work very, very hard to get them where they are, and they're reluctant to let it go and waste it on frivolous things, and they don't have to impress other people because they are wealthy. So this is us here. Now here, our last quadrant is the really aspirational quadrant. These are the really rich, and I've given the letter K because these guys know stuff. They know stuff we don't know, that anybody else in the other 3 quadrants don't know, and also they know people that anybody else in the other 3 quadrants don't know. And that is probably the biggest step up from any quadrant, from there to there, from there to there. That the fact that these guys know different people is the biggest step up. It's a bit like, I know people say that they don't agree with private schools because it's wrong to give some people a better education. Believe me, the education is pretty much the same. The difference of having a private school somewhere, in particular like Eton, where the elite go, is they make such good friends, and such good friends who have wealthy parents, and the wealth travels down and they all work together. These people know stuff that we don't know, and they know people we don't know, and that's the most important part of the whole quadrant. It's knowledge. Now these guys here have the same deals, same profit deals as these guys. It's just the scale that differs. It's done on an industrial scale. And when they're going to get a good deal come along, they'll pass it around their friends. Hey, I need a bit of money, or I need some knowledge, and I know you because we're similar to each other. Come into this deal. And that's not wrong or evil, because that's what we would do as well. We work with birds of a feather flock together. We work with people who you're comfortable with and have the same ideals with, and you have lots in common with. These guys are exactly the same. It's just the numbers are so much bigger because of who they know. Now these guys you won't see in your local pubs, as you will the other three, because they don't go to local pubs. They go to exclusive pubs, exclusive restaurants. They holiday at exclusive resorts. They go to Monaco. They go to big yachts on marinas. They will go to private islands. Neither will you see the houses, because the houses are over the hill, behind the woods, or up that big long drive that you can't see what's at the end of it, because these guys like their privacy. You don't get to see them. Now, wherever you recognize your position in one of these 4 quadrants, you should always be looking to get up to the next quadrant. If you're here, you need to be in here. If you're here, you need to be in here. And once you're here, you need to be here. And that's what I want to do. I want to go from here, hopefully in 6 years' time, to here. And that's not because I'm greedy, because I haven't got enough. It's just because I want to grow. I want to keep on bettering myself. And I think it's a human trait to have a goal after a goal. It keeps us moving forward, keeps us motivated. So I want to go and meet these people. And so to meet these people, I can't go to my pub. So I'm going to have to change again. All the things that had to change to get me from here to here, I'm going to have to change again to get from here to here. So I'm going to have to go to those marinas. I'm going to have to go to Morocco. Morocco, I wouldn't go to Morocco, why not? Go to Monaco. You've got to go to these exclusive places. You've got to go to the Maldives and the Seychelles, and not just the normal places that you would go on a honeymoon or somewhere special, but exclusively part of the Maldives. And that's where I need to go to meet and mix with these people. So there we are, guys. My new, improved, upgraded quadrants of wealth. Lower class, people who live on benefits. Middle class, the largest part of society. These are the guys who have the homeowners and the 2 cars in the drive. They have no plans, no goals. They may become wealthy just because they put a lot in their pension, or work puts a lot in the pension for them. But these guys are the planners. These guys will definitely be wealthy. This is where we want to be, or where I am now. But these are where we should all aspire to. These are the guys with the knowledge. They have the knowledge that we don't have, how to do bigger deals, and they know the people that we don't know. Just got to keep on growing, guys. As usual, I'd like to know what your comments are below. In the meantime, don't be stupid and don't be normal.